Here it is, a Roubo frame saw, and it's not completed yet. I just had to put it together so I could see how it works. Well, it works like a saw, of course, but I had to give it a go. Here is the first piece that was cut from it. You can see that it didn't meet very well in the middle, but it cut a nice thin piece out of this chunk of wood. You can see how thick that is. And I have a nice thin piece that I can use for like a bottom of a box or something like that. Get that cleaned up, and that would actually make a nice bottom for some box, and I think I have one in mind. I still need to fix the ends to shape these and round over some of this stuff. It wasn't really all that comfortable when I was using it, and I didn't have enough room. I kept hitting that cabinet there, and then I tried putting it in this vise over here, and I kept hitting the saws as I was going there. I have to figure out a better way to clamp up the piece of wood that I'm sawing, and so that I can get the full length of the blade when I'm using it. Because as it was, I was only using about a half of the blade, and it took only about 5 minutes to cut this off. And that's a far cry from what it usually takes to cut something like this off. At least twice as long. I mean, it's soft pine, but still, it takes a little longer with just a plain old handsaw than it would with this. So you see how it works. That load-bearing plate is right here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's where it is. And this screws into that, and you turn this and you put tension on the blade. And if you want to remove the blade, well, you would just unscrew that right there, and then you can take the blade out. There's a little U, looks almost like a bolt that goes in there into 2 holes on the blade, and it's just held together right now by the tension of the blade. I'm going to glue it up at some point. Well, that's not at some point. At some point, I guess. Yeah, sure. I'm going to glue it up so that I don't know if I even need to. Who knows? We'll see. And then make these a little more decorative. And this is especially decorative with that shape that goes in it here, because it was not pleasing when I was using it. It was, these sharp edges were not all that pleasant. But cool. A new tool that seems to work really well. Woohoo!